Your tongue is flat, like this. That's what you do. Now look, the pancake and vortex techniques are by far the most pleasurable, most intense methods that you could use to make a woman come from licking her plate. Let's assume this is the bottom of a vulva. Keep your tongue flat and, to your chin if it's possible. And please don't suck too hard. Don't suck too hard. Honestly, the truth is more pressure does not equal more intense orgasm. Most men don't spend time on their women. Even when they're leaking, they don't spend time. 1 to 3 seconds, they're up. And you've got to lick it very well in such a way that when you're done, like when you're done eating, or you've not even entered, when you're done eating, she's going to be exhausted because she has come multiple times. It's possible for women to come multiple times. It's just that you men, you're not spending ample time on foreplay, on eating her plate, on caressing her body. You're not slow. You're always too rough. Sometimes rough is not it, my darling. Let me just be honest with you. And when you know that you've marinated her vulva so good, then that's when you're ready for number 7. Are you ready? And in Nigeria, number 7, it's a very important number because right here in Nigeria, when the MC says, we're at number 7, item 7, in any event or in any occasion, guests just automatically know that item 7 is that time to eat and be merry. So here is number 7. Number 7 is the main course. All right, this is a time that you start using what I call pancake and vortex techniques. Now look, the pancake and vortex techniques are by far the most pleasurable, most intense methods that you could use to make a woman come from licking her plate. In fact, every other technique that you can learn is nowhere near these 2 important techniques, I swear. These 2 techniques are incredibly easy to perform. They will be responsible for the most powerful orgasm that you can give to your woman when you're eating her out. Now, let me explain how you could go about the pancake first. Pancakes, just like pancake, your pancake. Now, I tell you, the pancake is crazily simple, right? And you could start by sticking out your tongue from your mouth like this. And then allow it to drop over your chin in a very relaxed form. Very relaxed form. Now make it wide and flat like pancake. That's why it's called the pancake. All right? So you're going to be holding your tongue in this position when you're performing the pancake technique. You're keeping it relaxed the whole time and you're keeping it flat. So to perform the pancake, you could start with the base of your tongue at the bottom of a vulva. Let's assume this is the bottom of a vulva. Keep your tongue flat and, to your chin if it's possible. And then you start with the base of your tongue at the bottom of a vulva. Remember, the bottom of the vulva is, where the Juicypot is. So you're not opening the Juicypot, you're leaving the labia majora, closing up the vulva, but you're starting to leak from the base of the vulva. And with your tongue flat and wide. So make sure that your entire tongue is thoroughly covered in saliva, and then slowly move your head upwards, from the bottom of her Juicypot to the top, so that your tongue moves from the bottom until the tip of your tongue passes, her clit or her powerhouse. Your tongue is flat, like this. That's what you do. So here's the trick. The trick here is not to make movement with your tongue while you're moving from the Juicypot to the powerhouse. Just keep it wide and, relaxed and flat. Instead, you're moving your head. Your head is doing the movement. So as your head is moving up and down, your tongue will naturally follow without you moving your tongue. So when you reach the top of a powerhouse, just stop, pull away from her so that you're no longer making contact with the vulva. And then you can start all over again from the bottom to the top as many times as possible. So when you're coming, like you're going up with your tongue like this, you leave it. You don't just go and come back, you know, with your tongue still attached to, you know, the top of her vulva or the top of her powerhouse. Once you go up, you come out, you exit, and you go back again from the bottom to the top, or from the top to the bottom. Make sure that you give, at some point in time, no contacts. Do you get what I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Here it is. Keeping your tongue wide, relaxed, and flat definitely just ensures that you cover as much area of her vulva as possible. And trust me, when you do so, you will be giving her maximum stimulation. And yes, that's all there is to performing the pancakes. You see, it's very easy, just like pancake. You're flat on her vulva and you're moving up and down without your tongue moving. It's just your head moving. Do you understand it? Although there are some important things to keep in mind when performing this particular technique, which of course are, number one, don't try to make any shape with your tongue. Don't try to make any shape while moving up and down. All right, don't coil your tongue up. Don't do it. Don't perform a flicking motion. When I mean flicking motion like this, don't perform that motion. Again, it should be flat, wide, and relaxed when you eat her out. And then when it comes to how much pressure you should use to properly eat her out while you're doing pancake techniques, I would say, first of all, think that you won't be using so much muscle in your tongue to apply pressure as you move up and down during this pancake techniques, because you know, you will be focused on keeping your tongue relaxed, wide, and flat. All right? I know it sounds like a broken record, but this is it. It is very crucial for you to keep that in mind if you're doing the pancake. So you're using your head and your neck to apply pressure instead of applying pressure through the muscle of your tongue. So when you're using your head and your neck, this has a dual effect of making sure that your tongue doesn't get tired so quickly, thereby enabling you to perform this cunnilingus for much longer, but also allowing you to provide huge amounts of pressure that is coming from your neck or from your head as you're pressed against her. So I would say don't use too much pressure. All right? The pressure should be as little as possible. Honestly, the truth is more pressure does not equal more intense orgasm. So you should use minimal pressure for the first few minutes and gauge her reaction. Gauge how she's reacting to it, if she likes it. And you should be so light that you're barely touching her. And if she can come from incredibly light pressure, then you should just focus mostly on using light pressure. But if you're not hearing or you're not seeing her or feeling much of a reaction from her, like faster breathing, moaning, you know, clutching onto the linen or to your bed sheets, or there is no bodily tension, if she's not close to orgasm, then you could start increasing the amount of pressure until you can tell that she's really enjoying it. However, your goal should always be to use the minimum amount of pressure possible, you know, to make her come when you're eating her out. Most guys just get it wrong when it comes to eating or sucking women. Please don't suck too hard. Don't suck too hard. As a matter of fact, the softest that you can go on a woman with your tongue around her powerhouse, the better. The better and faster you will get her to orgasm. So if you suck so hard, you could either disfigure her labia minora, which is quite fragile. So be kind. And of course, you may also want to know how fast you should be. And I would say that this is similar to the amount of pressure you use. So please try to move as slowly as possible. Again, you also need to see how she responds to this. If she isn't getting much enjoyment from your slow movements, then you might want to speed it up. So you have to just look at her reaction while you're down there. Many women can come when you slowly move from, you know, the bottom of a Juicypot to the top over 15 long agonizing seconds, while others need, you to move as fast as, like a dog drinking water, like you're flapping the water. You understand? So when figuring out both how much pressure to use and how fast you must go, you need to listen to her body and see what she reacts to. You should also get her feedback on, your techniques. Just don't be too afraid to ask her if this thing works for her, because that's the only way that you can know. And alternatively, you can experiment by specifying that you're going to perform a few techniques, and you're going to get her to rate those techniques if she really likes them or if you don't. That way you can figure out if she likes what you did to her or if she didn't like what you did to her.